Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today. I'm Shenba Vignesh, spearheading the PNC team at Cassandra Technology Solutions. Excited to host this insightful webinar on top 10 AI use cases and trends to watch in 2026. AI is changing faster than ever, and what worked yesterday may not be enough tomorrow. With 2026 around the corner, it is important to know which UA use case is truly matter and which trends will define the next phase of adoption. Today's session will give you a practical view of how AI is being applied across industries and what to watch out for in the coming years. Now, to take us deeper into these emerging trends and real world applications, it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Ashwin Rajkumar, a distinguished researcher and AI innovator. Dr. Ashwin holds a PhD in mechanical engineering from New York University and a BTech from NIT Trichy, and completed his postdoctoral fellowship at the Indian Institute of Science in computational data sciences. He currently works with Tanu.ai, developing digital public infrastructure for non-communicable disease care, focusing on responsible and practical AI applications in healthcare, partnering with clinicians and public agencies to improve access, quality, and measurable outcomes for all. Dr. Ashwin combines deep research knowledge with practical AI innovation, and we are excited to hear his perspectives on the top 10 AI use cases and trends to watch in 2026. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Ashwin to lead us through this exciting session. Over to you, Ashwin.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So thank you for the introduction and thank you for this opportunity to present my findings on AI in 2025 and how it is going to transform business in the upcoming years. So currently, I head artificial intelligence at AKR Engineering and Projects. Uh, AKR and Casadara sort of collaborate together on B2G and B2B ventures. Without any further ado, I plan to start with the presentation on top 10 AI use cases and how it's going to transform businesses in the upcoming year. So here is a AI hype cycle. So the hype cycle plots the expectation versus time. So in 24-25, there was a peak expectation where agentic AI kicked in and sort of it started replacing generative AI. And people were scoping at how generative AI and agentic AI can take over humans and perform tasks independently. That's when the mm, expectations went down. Basically, how AI is getting profitable and whether AI can work reliably without human oversight were some of the topics of discussion. And then there was a temporary dip in the enthusiasm. Moving forward, now there's a flattening towards the zone of productivity where the industry start to leverage the infrastructure and it the AI infrastructure becomes the new norm. So today I will be covering the 10 use cases across 6 pillars of AI impact. So why I have binned them into six areas is to sort of categorize them into these fields where we can notice the impact uh, in users for users as well as businesses. So the first one I'll be discussing is the healthcare and life sciences, where how we experience treat experience and treat patients. Then and the next area will be the manufacturing and logistics, followed by software and education. Then I'll be covering how media and marketing are changing with the adoption of AI. For example, the image to the left is something I designed, and the same image, when I gave it to AI, it converted it to the image to the right. So it's more intuitive and engaging with colors, etc. Uh, the last two venues will be the science and climate, followed by food and agriculture. How AI impacts these areas and what are the measurable outcomes AI could provide. In terms of health and life sciences, the first area that I would like to cover is on the research. The Gemini from Google is one of the state-of-the-art models that can combine multimodal data, basically radiology information and clinical notes, and it was able to score 91% on the USMLE, which is like the medical legislation exam for doctors to get into medical practice in the US. Um, Next venue is in determining rare cases. GPT-4 was able to outperform specialists in identifying in Journal of Medical new cases in diagnosing rare diseases. So in terms of industry, what is out there is Abridge.ai has developed a clinical note taker. So converting the notes into structured information is a cumbersome task that requires a lot of admin work. Right. So for Abridge.ai was able to reduce this downtime on the admin not downtime, the burden on these admin staff by 60% and produce better clinical outcomes. So the next AI tool that I wanted to present is Wiz.ai. It's a FDA cleared triaging tool that saves around 60 minutes for stroke patients. So it basically, a stroke is a life-threatening disease, and 60 minutes matters a lot in identifying and starting the treatment of the patient. So since there are a lot of advanced AI out there, but what is preventing AI from replacing the clinicians? The first thing is the data privacy. We don't want privacy on healthcare information to be shared to someone else. The other aspect is the algorithmic bias induced by the training data. So based on the data that it's trained upon, the model also performs as effectively. So recently there was a contest by RSNA, Radiological Society of North America, that compares the clinician to the AI. So they found that the AI, it will take another 5 to 10 years to match with the clinical outcomes. Mm. So the next use case that I want to present is AI in surgeries. So past 4 to 5 years, most of the surgeries have been moved to robotic to minimally invasive ones. So when the surgery is done robotic, so there is a video camera basically recording throughout the surgery procedure, so which has millions of hours of surgical video that could be leveraged to train models. So there are trained proprietary models that predict trajectory of the clinician while doing a surgery for next 15 to 30 seconds. So where is it applicable? So in real-time safety. For example, when we are doing a critical surgery and the robot is going to hit a critical vessel, the AI could show a visual feedback or a haptic feedback to the clinician to prevent such an accident to occur. Another area where advanced clinical trials are happening is the autonomous closing. So once the important specialists are done with their work, the closing is usually done by the residents. So that area is where robotics and AI is playing a big role, where the autonomous closing could be done automatically and uh, through by leveraging AI. One more AI aspect that people are working on is to prevent latency in teleoperation. So when teleoperations are miles away, the communication challenge, there is a challenge with the communication, and AI is sort of used to smoothen the trajectory of the robot so that the patient is not harmed. The next aspect that I would like to touch upon is drug discovery. So proteomics and genomics are the common methods used for drug discovery. So the protein structure is like a lock, and deciphering the lock is a very important uh, parameter to develop new drugs. So AlphaFold 3 models the structures of all these proteins, and Alpha Proteo on the other end, a new drug based on the shape of the protein will react with it and produce outcomes. That is being modeled by Alpha Proteo. So what required years of time to develop in a wet lab is being minimized to a few months in simulations, and this closed loop is basically reinforcing how the models predict, and they are actually learning better. So high potency therapeutics are being developed at unprecedented speed with the help of AI. So next avenue that I want to touch upon is manufacturing and transit. As you know, China is leading the manufacturing domain with mostly robotic and AI adoption. So China has 250,000 robots deployed. That is more than 50,000, 50% of the global installation. And cobots is another venue that everyone is exploring. Cobots market share has improved from 2% to 10.5% in 2025. Of course, there is AI quality control. All these venues are evolving with uh, the support of robotics. So one venue where I have worked on is predictive maintenance. So for Shell, uh, most of these oil pipelines are prone to corrosion. So we wanted to understand how how fast they are corroding and what are the factors influencing the corrosion. So we were able to develop methods to mitigate mitigate corrosion as well as do some preventive maintenance. Of course, there is this digital twin aspect. Without sensors along the pipeline, we will not be able to identify what are the uh, causal mechanisms that cause the corrosion, right? So digital twins and predictive maintenance are intertwined. Another aspect that I would like to touch upon is transit, where we have autonomous taxis worldwide, Waymo in the US and Baidu's Apollo Go in China. And one starking finding is uh, there are fewer incidents on robo taxis compared to human drivers as the baseline. So, in logistics and transit, what are the AI implementations upcoming are based on traffic and weather, how safe deliveries could be done, then autonomous fleets inside warehouses, and demand forecasting and managing the bottlenecks in supply chain are some of the venues in industry and transit that are being addressed. In software and education, um, the capability of AI has changed from autocorrect to generating own code, uh, debugging, as well as optimizing the code. So, for example, in 23, there is a software and engineering work benchmark that gauges models performance. What was 4% in 2023, we are currently at 75%. So what is the capability right now? Uh, the context windows of the model as around 1 million token. Basically, it can consume the entire code base and suggest new code for the people, for the developers. And the next phase, what we expect is autonomy, where AI plans, executes, and tests multi-step code refactors. Down the lane, we could also expect self-healing code, where the AI itself identifies there is a small patch required, and it automatically applies the patch. So people and companies adopting AI in their workflow have recognized tangible cost savings. So what is the adoption of AI in corporate sector? 71% of the organizations now use generative AI, and it has increased twofold over the last 1 year. So where are they using it? They are using it for knowledge management and to develop new strategy. It's not really a mere chatbot, whereas it's a strategic partner. How are they achieving it? They are using the technique called retrieval augmented generation. It serves as a corporate brain. Basically, all these databases that are proprietary to the organization, they have proprietary large language models, open source language models that are deployed into their cloud, and these LLMs sort of act like a strategic advisor by augmenting their information from their databases to produce new information. So generative AI now manages institutional knowledge. In this manner, our data does not leave our organization. My prior work with certainty.ai, I worked on developing retrieval augmented generation systems for quantifying research and development expenditure for several software development companies. The next aspect that I would like to touch upon is media and marketing. So now we can see all LinkedIn posts right, left, and center using generative AI. So I need not touch base upon it. So where it is used in the industry scale is when we can create content and tailor it to individual segments. And the index report of 2025 shows that more than 50% of the organizations report measurable revenue gains, and 27% of the companies use generative AI for marketing content, marketing strategy, as well as content. Of course, there is a lot of automation pipelines provided by these marketing and Facebook, etc., where pipelines have been automated for A/B testing and customer data analytics, etc. So, what were the big releases of 2025? Are the Sora 2. That is, so previously, most of the video generation was silent, and now it is able to combine music or sound and voice into the uh, videos. Google's VO2 is capable of generating 4K resolution clips in just 2 minutes. So the take-home message is basically creating engaging videos with audio is just a prompt away. So on the right, I have a GIF of uh, the Spider-Man movie with a prompt. Now we can actually remove Spider-Man in the visual. So object removal is just a prompt away. The next aspect is on the science and climate. AI is now not a passive tool in research, whereas it is agentic, and it is able to conduct literature review and design experiments along with the researchers. Um, so where it actually benefits is we are able to do course correction very quickly and produce the better results, yeah, better outcomes basically. So what are the main AI behind it is the chain of thoughts. So like how a researcher executes a plan, we do a literature survey followed by a method and a experimental validation, right? So that it is pre-coded into the chain of thoughts. And while doing the literature survey, AI actually retrieves multiple papers, and from the knowledge base, it actually develops the experiment and the methods for you. Of course, there is this physics grounding also, so that the model does not hallucinate out of the earth possibilities. So the take-home message here is the PhD level research for your prompts is just in a few seconds. And in terms of uh, climate monitoring is very tough or large scale models. Now, with the help of AI, GraphCast uses a graph based neural network. It is able to predict extreme weathers faster than any outcomes. Yeah, wildfires are able to are being detected by FireSat. Then, in terms of material discovery, GNOME is a AI that has predicted over 2.2 million crystals. That has been a great breakthrough in battery and solar technology. Here again, the physics-based or physics-informed neural networks have been the core crux. And one more aspect is uh, data population. So wherever there are missing data points, AI is able to provide rationale and provide a good data point, which feeds into the physics of the model. The last avenue that I wanted to discuss is the food and agriculture. Uh, the main application I am always interested in is wastage mitigation. So Afresh is the company that does holistic grocery list so that the wastage goes down by 25%. One other application that I always like is the Zomato's uh, delivery that gets cancelled is being rerouted to another person. So the AI actually takes the location of the delivery person, then time, as well as the user preference, and then it sends a request for uh, the people around you, people around the delivery guy, with a notification that this product is available, so that the waste gets saved. On the agri-tech, I would like to highlight hyperspectral imaging, where hyperspectral is basically there are 20 channel image. When you do it on food, we are able to distinguish rotten versus healthy food products, so that non-invasively we can discard spoilage. And of course, there is this new generative biology where new food products are being created uh, with altered or not altered, with the right amount of protein, right amount of carbohydrates, um, like superfoods.
Hello, Ashwin. Yes, Ashwin Arvind here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ashwin, I have a quick question, just a very generic question. I was looking at all your, I mean, your very good synthesis that you have composed and at different levels of industry and stuff. One quick question. On your experience, is that, can you say two things? I mean, it need not be specific to any industry, two things that I should look at in Kasadara, that we should look at on capitalizing on the Gen AI aspect, which is the industry or the use case that we should really capitalize. So you did a lot of research, and I find what's been talked in the industry that you're putting in. I also wanted to get your perspective on what are just the top two things. It can be any industry that we should target and look at and hit it on capitalizing. End of the day, we also have products on Gen AI, but we want to capitalize on certain aspects of it. So across, it can be industry agnostic. That's my question. Yeah.
Hi, Arvind. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for your question. So we have a Q&A session. Let's have it at the end of the session, if you're
Gotcha,
fine with
gotcha.
it.
Okay, Shilpa. Yeah, sure.
All right. All right.
It's okay. I can answer that very quickly. So
Yeah.
the m- most important aspect that we need to capitalize on is the energy sector. So AI is energy hungry sector. If we could do some innovative methods on energy sector, it'll be great. I have actually put that in a trend. The availability of public data is also going to be out by 2026. So we have to uh, generate or create data sets uh, for models to train. That is another venue, and of course there is this industry venue where it requires intelligence, but then in Indian setting, uh, they are not really digital twins yet. So predictive maintenance is a two-pronged approach requiring digital twin as well as the predictive maintenance. So that's the trade-off here in terms of industrial implementation.
Got you, Ashwin. Thanks a lot.
So in 2026, what are the trends to watch? Is the AI's power crunch? Basically, the AI infrastructure are massive energy sinks, and the bottleneck being the available power. So I wanted to focus on the image on the left. So LLM query basically consists of the context and the output. That totally is the total context length. Right now, we are handling something around 1 million tokens. So the cost of inference is directly proportional to the context footprint and the size of the model, and inversely proportional to the hardware efficiency. So when we work with, so how can we build smaller models is one of the venues people are working on, and how can we make uh, the hardware more efficient such that we also account for tokens per watt instead of tokens per second only. So these are some of the areas where cutting edge research is happening, or mm, where the cost saving is going to happen down the lane. Because the AI inference is actually more expensive than the cost that we pay at the moment. So another venue where we see a lot of trends is the difference of output or the performance benchmark between the top models to the 10th model, or has come down from 11% to 5%. So the API inference costs are actually very low, which have dropped from $1 to around $0.01 per inference. And there are a lot of open source models that are upcoming. So what we get out of them is most of these models can be deployed in our own infrastructure to do proprietary knowledge management in our industry, for our industry. The last trend that I noticed is the data wall. So we are out of high quality, publicly available information. So and most of these data is siloed to the West, and some of them are behind paywalls, and there is not a lot of data towards our culture and our languages. So, for example, I'd like to point out that I want to create a AI generated image of five-face Anjaneya. So when I prompted several times, it just this is the best image I got as the output on the to the right. Whereas five-face Anjaneya basically will have the Varaha as well as the Narasimha, uh, etc. So the venues where people are working on is to generate synthetic data where they can be used as training material. Uh, yeah, that's what we could see in 2026. So one example that I recollect is Josh Talks is one of the highest, largest data provider for Google's voice engines. So they basically uh, use pretend play, um, let's say we need a healthcare data. So they ask to people to pretend as a nurse and a clinician, and they record the interaction, scripted interaction for it to serve as a data point. Yeah, I hope I have covered um, different use cases in innovation and how things are more efficient and in industrial or revenue growth in industries. Um, Now we are open for any questions.
Uh, I have one question. Yeah. So, is there any specific tool or software, or is there any specific program you are using? So, if I want to learn from the beginning, so how can I and where can I start, and how should my approach, and what are all the things is required? Can you brief little?
Vignesh. So when we look at AI, what it does, it solves the equation AX equal to B. Okay. So from our childhood, we would have looked at this matrix equation, right? When the size of the A matrix becomes bigger, we use Newton Raphson method to solve it. That's exactly what AI also does. We are training these A matrix to fit your prompt to the output. Where to start? Andrew Ng's course is a very good uh, starting point. Coursera, very economical.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey Ashwin, here Parthasarathi. I have one question. Do you have any strong recommendation that banking and financial services or insurance domain? Any use cases real time? Like,
Yes, actually, I have. So NHA, are you familiar with NHA?
NHA? No,
National
I'm
Health
not.
Authority.
Okay, yeah.
So they process PMJAY,
Okay.
Pradhan Mantri
Mm.
Insurance, Ayush
Yes,
Insurance.
okay.
Okay. So they have data from all over the country,
Okay.
and they have initial screening whether
Mm-hmm.
all the documents are there or not, right? So the
Okay.
insurance processing requires 4 to 5 preliminary documents. That is
Okay. Then
the Aadhaar.
necessary document. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
For that, they have an AI.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, they have a similarity search between the document that they have uploaded to what is the like a template document.
Okay.
If the
In
similarity
the
is not
banking.
there, they
Mm-hmm.
will reject that case automatically, and then it will go for the review of an insurance agent. Otherwise, it will be automatically ticked to a next stage, so that they do this initial filtering.
Okay.
And perhaps Tanu is working on that. We work on CKD, that is kidney disease, acute
Okay.
renal disease. For that, we write the AI. For other cardiovascular, animal bites, there are other people. IIT Kanpur is writing for other.
Yeah, thanks, Ashwin. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Yeah, hi Ashwin. So it's really nice to have you here. So my question is like, I recently heard a lot about SLM, So when you comes to a niche domain, so implementing a LLM and the implementing SLM is uh, much more feasible as compared to LLM. You know, if
Yes.
you when it comes to a maintaining a context in a particular niche, instead of using LLM and prevent that using a guardrail and other stuffs, SLM looks a go-to option. So what do you think about that? Can you enlighten me on that?
So it depends on the use case.
Mhm.
So let's say uh, you you are looking for uh, quick outputs, which is mm, accurate ones. You could go with SLM. When you want your output to be accurate and larger context windows, SLMs may not be um, the best use case. But then you could use a smaller large language model, like 3 billion parameter.
Okay. So you prefer a smaller LLM compared to SLM, right? Is that am I right?
Smaller LLM, SLM is something you have to build on your own. Are you
Mm.
planning to build on your own?
I'm just trying to, but I just exploring that at the moment.
Yeah, so that's why if you have the compute power to build your own, then it will be great. Otherwise, you could always take a smaller LLM and you can fine tune it, which is not very expensive too,
Okay. Okay.
because
Yeah.
open
Got it.
source models are of different sizes are available on
Okay.
Hugging
Okay.
Face.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, Ashwin, this Asha this side. Like my question right now, like I do know like Kasadara is into a lot of projects right now, which are into the AI related area as well. Like, can you just name any challenging use case or what kind of client project which was really interesting and which was solved? So, like live, if we could hear it from you, it would be great.
So I would explain an industrial use case,
Mm-hmm.
which actually results in best bang for the buck. It was with Shell, Qatar. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, SiO2 is a mm, bad for the pipelines. SO2 and SiO2 are very bad for the pipelines when you are doing gas drilling. So each time these pipes are they are coated with corrosion inhibitors, but then their longitudinal data was not available previously. Now Shell has data points across time as well. So once we were able to do that, we
Mm-hmm.
created a model on what is the time duration at which these corrosion inhibitors have to be added,
Mm-hmm.
and at what SO2 ranges the corrosion inhibitors has to be cut off. Once we
Okay.
gave that advice or uh, the rules to implement, it was done on the shell's end. And when they did it, they were able to prevent pipe maintenance. So even a 1 day shutdown of the Pearl gas pipeline is a huge loss for the company. Not days, even hours. So that was one of the best outcomes that we were able to produce. And Shell was proactive in making sure it gets implemented.
Yeah. So that was actually my next question. Like, was it just strategically given as a solution from your end, or was it implemented also? That was my question. So, yeah, I think it was implemented at Shell's end, but yes, great. Yeah, probably it comes in the last couple of cases which you explained, right? The eighth one was probably which you explained in these use cases.
Pardon?
Yeah, like you explained few use cases, right? So the geographical related use case, I think the solution comes under that, probably.
It comes
Because
under
you talked about the
manufacturing and in
manufacturing.
transit. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Because
explained about predictive maintenance as well as digital twin.
correct. Yes.
So I'm not, since we are looking at a broader 10 use cases, I did not go into nitty-gritty details, but then all the publications are available on my Google Scholar.
Sure. So Ashwin, can we also connect offline if we have to have some other questions also in detail? Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashwin.
All right. Hope we don't have any more questions here. Great. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you found the session very useful and looking forward to see you again in our upcoming webinars. Thank you everyone for joining us for today's session. Thank you.